I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Well, I've got to trade tonight. Ooh, yeah. Asia's moon is burning bright. Hey, one more dip across the sea. Crypto's pull won't let me be. Yeah, I'm a midnight trader. Ooh, can't sleep till I stack my gains. Yeah, yeah. Running charts against the dawn. Ooh, midnight trader on my own. Hey, hey. Daylight fades, my eyes go dim. Yeah, life slips past while I'm plugged in. Hey, hey. Tokyo's hum keeps me alive, chasing gains where shadows thrive. Yeah, I'm a midnight trader. Ooh, can't sleep till I stack my gains. Yeah, yeah. Running charts against the dawn. Ooh, midnight trader on my own. Hey, hey. Oh, sights hum through the haze. Ooh, yeah. Oh, bull runs my maze. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sleep's a ghost I roam. Ah, midnight trader. Ooh, on my own, yeah.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a trader. I've been around. I've seen the highs and the lows, the bulls and the bears. I've made my fortune and I've shed my tears. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. I'm a whale in the crypto game. I'm a whale with a portfolio so fine. I'm a whale, always on the grind. I've traded Bitcoin, Ethereum too. I've shorted the market and I've made through. I've seen the fun and I've seen the hype. I've made my profit and I've taken the ride. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. I'm a whale in the crypto game. I'm a whale.
Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Is this one working? Is this one on?
I'm a whale, always on the grind.
Alright, go check out the next one.
I'm not a bot, I'm not a
Check,
scam.
1, 2,
I'm a
2.
trader
Microphone 2,
with a
check.
plan. I'm not a whale.
Alright, go back to the
Just a
first one.
guy who's trying to make a buck.
Microphone
and get
1,
by.
check 1, check 2, check 1, 2.
And I've seen
Okay, go back to the second one.
You're making me repeat too many steps.
Well, just do it.
Microphone 2, check 1, check 2.
Alright, go back to the first one.
I was just at the first one.
I know, go back to it, check it out again.
Microphone 1, check 1, check 2.
All right, now go back to the second one.
This is getting very repetitive and very annoying.
Don't look at me that way. You do it to me, you know you would.
I'm a whale, always on the grind. Sleepless nights and neon dreams, spinning wheels in fast machines, digital gold in pixel streams, rise and fall like cryptic memes. Eyes glued to the endless charts, ticker tape and rising hearts. Every coin a work of art, bound to break or fall apart. Number, go up, 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 hold on tight, don't you stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been riding the roller coaster of life's ups and downs and find yourself in a little bit more downs than a little bit more ups, might I give you just a word of advice? The only two things you need in your life is a little Jesus and a little cowbell. Get your cowbell today. Order one at Amazon.com. Tractor Supply. Use the links below. There's no links down there. Don't use the links below. But get your cowbell today. There ain't nothing that perks you up like a little cowbell at just the right time.
Midnight trades, screen lights up in neon shades.
It worked better than Viagra.
And thrill as courage fades. Lightning gains in crypto raids. Hear the
Ladies and gentlemen,
cash advance. Every
are you ready?
daring dance.
Are you ready to get out here and have a little turkey? A little turkey kind of tell you what's going on in the market out here. Well, if you are, I just want to say thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Sean, let's go ahead and press that button there.
Hold my peanut butter and jelly sandwich here.
You need some bacon on that thing. I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be alarmed if you ain't never ever seen a turkey actually here on YouTube actually doing this YouTube charting stuff. I don't know, drawing lines, whatever. Trying to find these places where coins are going to go and buys them and sells them and stuff. You're not used to a turkey doing that well. Get ready for it. All right, here we go.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
The devil girl. Somebody forgot to turn. Oh, we got dancing girls. We got everybody hanging out here. It's a party tonight. It looks like. Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto with Road Dog. Apparently, I'm Road Dog. Look like a turkey tonight, right? Here we are on the daily with a lot of green. Lots of green out there today. I'm just saying, it's. Whew. Yeah. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Ooh. Oh, don't forget to hydrate. Hydrate. This is very cool, as they say. Look at this, 10%, almost 10% up here in the top 1 to 200, 7% on the daily. What are we looking like here on the weekly? Yeah, what are we looking like here on the weekly? That's a pretty comeback, somewhere between mostly upwards of 15 to 20% there. A lot of 18%, 12, 13%. That's a pretty good come up, right? Right. And hopefully you're in this position to where you can realize some of those gains from some of those rises up a little bit. Are you saying we should be selling out already? Not selling out all the way, but taking some profits along the way, in my personal opinion, is the best thing to get prepared for these. Hey, look up here. This was our target. I think we talked about this. We talked about this one last night on the stream. Was that right? during the day or in the, I don't know. But hey, that was our Fibonacci and nailed it. Yeah. Ah, hey, algorithm, get that. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. That number went up, up, up. Up, up, up. Where are all the buttons, Sean? There we go. Number went until she got there, and then she had a little hiccup. I'm just saying. I think last night we were talking about, we were looking at this area here, and then last night at the very end of the show, we popped up that one as she looked like she wanted to go up a little bit higher, and if she do, that would be where we would look at. That was a fib extension actually. So there we are, 93.8. Is that the end of the road? That's a hard call, but let's just zoom out and appreciate what has occurred today. Okay, the scenario that we were hoping for, talking about, wishing for, that we've been talking about for a long time. Been a long time coming, darling. Been a long time coming to get out of this little area. And even then, you got what about the wicks? So we include some wicks, and just to give it a little bit more breathing room and make sure it's not going to fake us out and stuff. But eventually, we got that nice little breakout, and then candle confirmation above it, and then we went sideways for a long time, like, right? And a lot of possibilities could have happened there. We could have done lots of things. Look, a shoulder heading. Where's the shoulder? There's no shoulder. There could have been, but there wasn't. She did the flat line and then decided, screw y'all, I'm going up. And I ain't bitching about it at all. So the targets that we had in they got hit. The biggest thing to note was over the last 2 days, we've kicked the 200 daily moving averages ass. Now, I just want to take a moment and go back over to another chart, Bitcoin chart that we've been looking at. The futures, not perpetual futures, but CME Bitcoin futures. They were the ones that tanked the market back in, was it 2018 when they first came out? Yeah, whatever. They're the first tankers of the market, or maybe it was, anyway. When they say, now we can short Bitcoin, and then that's what started that bear market. Man, are you up? My mouse is acting funny. So here we are, but on this one, we never broke that 200 moving average with a complete candle, right? I mean, we wicked below it and everything, but that was the line that we held there. And I just find that very, very interesting, because there's a saying in commodities trading, look at the futures if you want to see what's going to happen to the price. The futures, because they're trading the future price of this. And unlike perpetual futures that does not have an expiration date on contracts, the regular futures do. So they're a little bit more, they got to take a little bit more care in, their positions and whatnot. So I just find that kind of interesting, but they're ready to go up too, right? So how far can we go? I'm going to go ahead and clear out all this stuff here. And we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. Of course, we're not going to forget where we came from, and that's this line. A lot of people forget where they come from, when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? And so you got the idea of a measured move, put it at the breakout area. It says, hey, there's a possibility. I know, as crazy as it is, 101,000. So now that we have a breakout and we have a pattern, and we've got actually... And let me tighten you up just a little hair there. For me measure move there. Let me tighten you up just a little hair. More concerned about where the candle is straight up to the line we got. That's basically what I'm worried about. I'm not concerned about this line so much. There we go. Tighten her up just a little bit. And I find if you have a little bit better luck getting some of these areas to be more accurate, if you just take a little bit more time with them. I see other people just willy-nilly throw something and then even move it afterward. I don't understand that. And do it well before there's even a breakout. So we apply a measured move to the breakout, because that's the rules of the game there. And that's 100,000. That is cool. That would take us right up to this little wick over here. Hopefully just a wee bit higher than this little guy. This little guy right here. Where you at? 99? Now, I don't know that that's going to happen now. This is just the measured move. It could take 2 or 3 humps to get up there. to get that target. Just to let you know the truth, it can take it a minute to get up there. I mean, we got some signs saying that maybe we'll carry on, my wayward son, but there's some resistance ahead. There is. It'll probably take it a couple of times to get up there. However, ladies and gentlemen, the next place that I would be looking for some resistance. Oh man, come on, get off it. I think my computer needs a reboot. If we pull swing high to swing low, we get into the juicy area of the 618 and 96,460. I want to mark that little guy because he's relative. It has a lot of power on a bigger time frame and all that good juicy kind of stuff. We got the line up there. Let's make her big, thick, and ugly. Well, not big, thick, and ugly, but just big and thick. She likes them big and thick. What's here with you? Let's go over here. Sean, you suck. There's a 786 Fibonacci there. Now that's a very, I'm not trying to get bullish. This is probably overly bullish. In my personal opinion, we've already knocked out the one that we were concerned about. In my personal opinion, I was concerned about these guys. This was the very first one. I like, because we struggled for the longest. We struggled over here, couldn't make a higher high, but then we got this one. We finally got a higher high in. Okay. From the last impulse move, a high to a low, we finally got a higher high end. Right now, I'm good for this. If you want to turn around and go back, whatever. I do have dry powder waiting for you. Just saying. Or if she wants to continue up, hard to say. She's very bullish right now. It looks like it might want to continue just a wee bit. We'll get to it. But she did that, and so wherever she parks now, she may want to continue up, maybe knock out this one. But I'm saying, hey man, if you're going to do that, I mean, that's at our 382 Fibonacci or 618 Fibonacci, the yellow line, that's the strong one, 696, whatever. But if she wanna, I mean, it might be on the table. Maybe I just want to go and knock out that one. That's even better. Either way that it goes, what I'm going to do, you're going to hear me say this a lot, and I've said this a lot. I'm looking for the higher high. The next higher low is the one that's what I want to focus on. I'm gearing up for whatever the next higher low is, whether it comes now, whether it comes from up here, or whether we go up here and come down. Wherever that next higher low is, that is where I want to be totally prepped to go in and just go, yeah, baby, I'm going full on, and get me a big old position there. If we just kind of look at what we got going on here, and look, we had a little W shape and whatnot, and if we level that out, it doesn't have to be level, it can be crooked or whatever, but that's also an area, we can come back down to 88,000, retest that little guy, that little area too. Let me get all this stuff cleared up. Let me say hello to everybody here. Make sure the dang microphone is on and all that, right? Dusty Hut says, is Bitcoin a good stock? It's as good as a stock as you can get. Stock it up. The big appeal for crypto, or one of the biggest appeals, was there's no barrier for entry. And even back in the day, and even still now, you can get in and nobody's got to know about it. You just, once you get into the system, a lot of people go in through Coinbase or whatever. Crypto.com is very popular now. A lot of entry ramps. Or maybe somebody just you do a little swap on, I don't know, however, once you get the crypto funds, you can send it to wherever you want to and do whatever you want to with it, basically, to other exchanges that and I'm just saying there's lots of opportunities out there. What was the point of that story? I don't know if there was a point to that story. All right. I like what I'm seeing here, but the 4 hour, we're keeping our eyes on this one, and we finally caught up with these guys, the 800 and 600. We talked about this a long time before. We talked about, hey man, she can even go higher, and that's where this guy over here could come into the picture. However, we are at an area of resistance as it is at the present moment. And our target was this 1.382. That was the guy. That was our little nailed it target that we were talking about earlier. 93,800 on this CoinEx chart here. Can we might, but this might be it too. All right, she may be coming for a pullback, and if she does, that's cool too, man. First places, I would look for Bitcoin to come back and get a hiccup. Well, 89.4, 89.5 in this little area. I don't expect it to stick. But if this is our pivot point right here that we just nailed out based on what we got here, and based on the breakout of this pattern, definitely could be coming back to retest this area. And if you look over to the left, a lot of you support resistance people would be looking at that area too, coming back to test here. So I would look for that. The next level would be this 382 area, about 86,500. That could happen. We could be, look, it's a flag to the upside, Helen. Mortgage the kids. We might be doing that, or we might, come back and there's lots of possibilities. Most of our moving averages are consolidating down here around 84,200 to 0.5 Fibonacci area. It might even come back there just for poops and giggles, just to retest the breakout area that we had here. Our moving averages still are inverted. They have not flippened, but they're trying. That's what's going on in this little area, so that's also what makes me think that we get a retest. We will be coming back around to the 84.8, and that will be a nice little place to start booking it in, baby. Booking it in just a little bit, in my personal opinions. After we're making our higher high, looking for that higher low. So that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin. How's it going, everybody? Are we enjoying the altcoins and altcoin season? What might be? Well, it's not altcoin season by any means, but it's a nice little refresher just to see these numbers go up instead of going down. And I'll tell you what, I am pretty gosh darn impressed here with total 3. It actually did a lot better than I expected. That's pretty impressive to me. It got above that. That's a contentious area right here that we've got on this particular chart, if you can see it. That orange line that we've got right there, she went over it and didn't some. I think I'm on the 4-hour chart here. It's not the daily. We normally watch the daily, but that's a hellacious candle there. I gotta say, for total 3, pretty good. However, she is from this move. She's at an area of resistance, so we gotta be careful in there. But I'm also looking at Bitcoin dominance getting some rejections. So, will altcoins get a little bit more spicy? I think we need to take a little closer look over here at some of these indices like total 3, and here we are at our areas that we listed out as where we thought that she could go and maybe get rejected at, and we made it there. Wow. I remember saying it could be about another 40 billion dollars coming to the market, and when you say that, it's like, well, I didn't expect it to be all in one dang day. And so that's a pleasant surprise that was the targets. Well, there we are. We're testing them right now. We could get a little higher, man. Could see another 20 billion come in. She wants to get just a wee bit higher. But these are some areas that we should find some stiff resistance. But I would love to see her come up just a way bit higher. What the hell's he saying? And actually, it needs to get a higher high than what we got over here, for real. So let's pull this guys out. So we are at the 786 Fibonacci, if you heard me say that earlier. This is a great place for them to slam us down. It's a good chance that could happen. And because we are in a rising channel, she's a little steep. I gotta, oh man, did you double dip the fibs? You fib double dipper. But if we follow that channel idea, we got some wiggle room. Just like Bitcoin, I would really like to see it I would like to see us get up here and get this little guy right here. That would probably feel to a lot of us like a little altcoin season. In fact, we might want to look at Bitcoin dominance to see how strong that rejection is, because that might be a good explanation of how we can get there. So it's looking enticing. I'm not going to say it can't, but I'm also not going to say, hey, she's not going to pull back a little bit before she gets up there. Let's keep those ideas in mind, and we can play those. And if we can get rid of the Fibonacci here, because it kind of blocks everything else that I'm trying to show, we zoom in. And the ribbon is getting tight, and it's starting to flip. You're starting to see some of these crosses, right? Especially smaller time frames over the bigger time frames, and they're bullishly crossing. It's trying to flip. We're trying to get our flipping in, and that's for price action. It's not straight up, but it's got all the good kinds of volatilities that you need, where we go to highs and then higher lows and higher highs. We continue that kind of idea, and this is, you know, do I dare say buy the dip territory? Might be the point where you think about buying the dips, short term anyway, while we're looking bullish. But I don't want to get too crazy, because I think we're just getting to you know, I think there will be a nice little pullback on all this stuff. So chasing would be a no. We don't want to chase. We should be taking little profits, and we are in areas that we can get a pullback. What is tomorrow? Is what, Wednesday or something? Oh my God, you don't even know what day it is. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't. I get lost. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So we got the whole week for them to set us up for the weekends, right? And that's when it's really going to be kind of, you know, we got to keep our eyes open to see what they're trying to do, in my personal opinion. They like to take advantage of us and set us up for things on weekends. Let's come to the chat. Say hello to everybody. Let's also put... I've got some coins that we can take a look at. And anything you guys want to take a look at, let me... Where's my little thing here? Right there. Did it work? Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed that little guy worked. What is this turkey talking about? But when I come to the chat, I like to, or especially if I go to the news, we ever get the news segment going back again, come over here, put this, submit your coin request, and then I come back there to look for the coins. Then I add them to the list, and then we kind of add them to what we do on the show. And of course, priority goes to members and super chats. And in the meantime, we come and say hello to everybody. We have Impact Duality C, Asako Tono, Strong Short Soul, Hulin Allegra, Joe from Trade Intuition, Sam, we got Dusty Hunt, Bullish on Parade, Loki's Angels, Tommy 2 Liters, MG Motorsports. Wait, there's no links. You suck, Rodoc. Sicario. Oh my God, yeah, dude, put a link to a cowbell on Amazon. I should. I just got lazy. I wonder, maybe I should do that. Turbo's still running. And I was looking at one, is it Ping or Pingu? Oh, they're two different ones, aren't they? I'm not sure which one's pumping. Glittery Marshmallow says, uh-oh. I can't read it because there he goes. Where'd he go? I lost it. There we go. Says I got some juicy profits right where you said it would hit, so you can put your nailed it sticker on Dogecoin. Well, check out Doge. How did Doge do? Oh, congratulations. Confirmed it with your own TA though, right? Right. You're not just following any YouTuber on your. You say, oh, I thought it was kind of. You looked at your own TA and you said, oh yeah, I think it might be able to do that. I see how you put it with your own TA, right? That's important. Anything that'll make you lose your ass real quick is to just blindly follow YouTubers on YouTube. I'm just being real. I'm looking at some today. The day has been a bullish day, right? And these are some people who have been doing this for a long time, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I remember when it wasn't such a green day, and I remember I'm looking at Solana and just having nothing. I mean, this person I think is a little bit of an altcoin hater, more of a Bitcoin maxi. I think that's a little bit more, but I'm not going to mention their names. But I just remember just the way that they were talking about Solana at this time when it was down, and we were down to 160 in these areas here. And I just remember them so confidently saying it's over for, $80 is our next target, $60, just like we're just definitely going to do all that stuff. And the wrong people to hear that kind of stuff. And I don't know, maybe they had a position in Solana that nobody knew about, and just that for whatever reason bias comes out, especially on red or green days, and you got to be careful. Because what they said, I mean, I felt the influence. I was like, oh my God, Solana sucks. I remember feeling that just when them saying it, and here I am, I can read the charts and see everything too. But when things start getting in scary times like that, the least little thing that you hear, man, can just flip you, right? It's all up here psychological, but also what you take in from other people. And I just want to bring that up because nobody's talking about that now. Everybody's talking about how everything's going to the moon. But a lot of these same people that are being real bullish and be hopeful and saying, that's amazing, look at that, that's a great sign. Some of them were also dogging the hell out of some of these coins when they're down here at the bottom. And it wasn't like, well, there's hopeful, or, it's like, it's over. This one sucks. This got no life. It's trash. I mean, I've heard this from lots of different sources, and one of them is, a big, a good sizable YouTuber that's been around for a long. This is one that I remember hearing him do this with Solana, and that's that adage for the investors. If you're investors out there, I mean, that's when everybody gets like that. That's the word that you're supposed to be looking for, right? When everybody's just disgusted. And that's what happened, and sure enough, I mean, that was the best time to get this little guy. I also happened to be on the daily 800 moving average with Lucy there too. I'm just saying that's just what talks to me and gives me hope at this point. But she could have still went. True, she could have still went lower, but she didn't. She didn't. But there were some people so confidently talking out there. It was the market is over. Yeah, Bitcoin's it's over, and altcoins too are going to take the hugest dive ever. I mean, that stuff was out there. And I hope I gave you a little bit of a different thing here, because the same moving averages are still in the same places that they were when all this was going on. And the order that they are in say, no, man, the fat lady hasn't sung yet. We can still recover, baby. We can still get back up to 180. We just got to figure out where our bottom is. And so if you wonder why I use what I use, this is some of the reasons why that I have these things, and this is how I use them, and how they keep me from not going to caving into some other ideas or something that you might hear, because we all get affected by other people's emotions, coupled on with whatever we're going through in ourselves. I'm getting all philosophical and everything. Let me come back to the chat. Put me on the right track. Put me on the right track. I started getting off track there. Glitty Marshmallow says they stole my ledger, but not the key codes, so I'm going to buy Tangem. Hey, Tangems are awesome wallets. So are ledgers. I've got a ledger too, but yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, they don't have your seed phrase. And you got two versions of Tangem. Now, first they came out and there was no seed phrase on it. They got a lot of backlash from it. I've got one of those versions. I don't have a problem with it because it's kind of an extra layer of safety too. But yeah, I see how people. Yeah, either way, if you got a seed phrase, you got to keep that secure always. But you can also you can go with the options to use a seed phrase or not with the Tangem wallets. They did give you that options. They're a really versatile wallet, very secure. Just to confuse you a little bit more, it's already Wednesday here. Oh my God, now my mind's blown. There we go, Floki's Angels. DLC says, what a day, so many nice pumps, let's go. I agree, nice. We were going to take a look at Turbo. Okay, so, and let me write these others down. We got Mana, Alluvium, Floki, Sandbox. Sand was doing pretty good today. And Magic. I keep seeing that one. I'm not in it, but I think we charted it the other night because I keep seeing it pop up. Man, this song gets really busy at the end. I need to edit that little sucker. All right. Let's go take a look at, we were going to take a look. I get off track. Turbo. Are we all on Gate.io? Turbo, she got a little pumpty pump. Where did she go? She went to our next little target there. So wait, though, I think it was the one that was said that was the one I would probably wait on, is to get that one, because I think it was really close to the first one or something. Let's get the fibs off. So go down to the smaller time frame, and that's what she did. Tis what she did. She went. We were going to check out Doge. That's what it was. I got so sidetracked. 8.003, that's the power of the fibs, my ladies and gentlemen. And she lost. That's what she did, what she's supposed to do. She pivots, and one idea is to take profits there. Now when it does, there's a variety of things that she can do, one of which is doing what she did now, recover and just keep on going. So now we got the next little target here. But the really one, I think the one that we could probably really get a little bit better of a run out of is this bigger 382 fib area from a bigger pool on the fibs. We should be headed toward there, trying to. But taking profits along the way is, I swear, that's the name of the game, because you'll always get a chance to get in lower. You'll always get a chance to get back in. But unless you solidify those gains, man, they're just numbers on your screen until they're not there anymore. And you're like, where did it go? And like, you never had it to begin with. So here we are, 18% to 35% from this little green line. That was where the take profit was. But that was cool. So from these other areas down here where she's doing her flipping, and now keep this in mind, this is only on the 1 hour, but all these moving averages are down here, just all wrapped up around each other, right? It's great. They're doing the flipping, but we're going to come up, and then we're going to kind of feel like a slingshot and come back down to some degree here, right? And once we figure out where our top is, then we can have a better idea of where we might be able to bounce. Right now, all we can do is just kind of speculate on some ideas, and there's a few ideas. And coming back down to the red line, that might be one of them. Coming back to the breakout point, that's a general rule of thumb to keep in mind for any kind of retest. And I'm serious, wherever you break out on that trend line, that's one of the places to look for a price retest. That any of the higher highs that you had before that area, any of the higher lows down here that you got, those areas, and she can come down and even go down to price can do lots of different things. It's just what we're trying to do is anticipate where the points are. You can't always guarantee what's going to happen when we get to those points. But with the fib strategy that we do on this channel, we identify the points, a lot of the points where we find a reaction there, and that's what we try to make our money on, or at least I do. Some people, everybody has a different approach to this market. Everybody has a different mindset and a different strategy, a different way to look at it. So I think if I start articulating that a little bit better, you can see a little bit better how I try to apply these techniques that I show you over here. And there may be other people doing something similar on YouTube. I don't know. I see some overlap with some other people, but as far as I can tell, some of these things are a little bit more unique to what I show here. I'm not saying that I'm the only one using them by any means, but I don't see a whole lot of people talk about them the way I do. All right, so we took a look at Turbo Dogecoin. We were going to look at Doge. Clear Marshmallow had a good trade with Doge and took profits at one of our spots. Was that at the 17? And then she wanted to go higher. She wants to go higher. Let's see, where is this? This is Binance. Let's look at Doge. I'd like to get a fresh chart to see if I see anything new. Let's come over here to perpetual futures here. That actually looks good. So 200 daily moving averages up here. So that's a fair target area. So if we see that, especially bouncing off of these guys, the 800 and 600, can you guys see why I have this red line here? Why I have Little Miss Devil Girl? She is the 666 moving average. So I know it sounds crazy, it sounds weird as F and all that, but I have back tested this and continue to, and price does have reactions with her on everything that I ever look at. It may not be the end all be all, and there's not too much separating it from the 800, so there's not a whole lot of interaction between them, but I do read that. But for a level of support between those two, I don't know. It just helps me navigate this market. That is why I have her there, and we bounced off her a couple of times. Now, bouncing off of her in 800 and wherever the 200 is, you can expect us to, we're probably going back and touching those. My strategy would be saying we'd be coming back to the 360 moving average area. That's about almost 20 cents at 19.9, and then probably come up to the 25 cent area just to say hello. That's just moving average strategy. That's not including a nary fib. That's just going with, hey man, this is kind of the flow of the movement. This is kind of where the river's kind of wanting to take us right now. And so there's an island in the 360, and I think we can get past it. We may have to finagle with it a little bit, but she's kind of wanting to come over here. I don't know of many people that use these moving averages either. I'm just that weird duck in the pond. Hey! I do look like a duck if you cook me, don't I? I'm just that weird. I'm that weird turkey. I'm that wild turkey out there. I'm sure that this is one of them fancy harmonic patterns and everything, but when you boil them down, they just, when you zoom out, you get certain levels that you get a bounce from, and that's one of them. And hey, that's just an easier way for me to identify. 886 retracement. Let's go, baby. Cook it up. Throw it in the oven, and let's see if she will catch on fire. And then I love this part. This is just the easiest strategy ever, man. A swing high to a swing low. All your targets are sitting right there. Every one of them little suckers is a potential target. And a good target. A good target. Not just any target, but a good one. Where something's going to happen. And maybe price goes up just a little bit. Maybe it wicks up, but at some point you see, man, that's where oh yeah, she gave up over it. Or whatever, you know, they sometimes it will nail them perfectly. Sometimes price will wick up, but then just hang around there. The candle bodies just can't really seem to make it past these areas. They're relevant. They're relevant. They'll help you. They'll help you. It's one of the easiest things I think that I can advise a new person to do is break out the fibs. Learn to play with your fibs. You can play with them in front of friends, even though they'll look at you kind of funky. So this would be scary for a lot of people because this is still lower lows and lower highs. A lot of people would be scared over this. I probably would be scared too if I did not have the help of my moving averages to give me a little bit of insight that some other people probably would not see. They would say, but it can go down. However, I use some bigger moving averages. And it's equivalent of looking on a bigger time frame. You could always view it that way too. But it's got good things, and now we're above the 9 moving average on the daily. It's crossing bullishly over the 21. These are the things, these are the signals, the triggers that I look for. And just with that right there, that trend line and breaking over that and getting above the 9, especially in the 9 crossing the 21, anything like that, yeah, baby, I loves it. I could do it all day long, 3 times a day, even maybe 5. Nobody's looking. We could also, you know, you could come up with some various ideas and patterns, and as long as you got 2 touches on one side, 3 on the other, by the pattern rules, it's a valid pattern. Play that sucker, baby. Measure, move, takes us up here to our little area there. Maybe not perfect, but that does 20 cents, 20.8 cents right there. That's just from a local one. That's from a local one. That's not even taken into account, you know, other trend lines and other ideas like a channel. It looks more like a channel. Which is close to the same thing. There's so many ways that you can do this, and every one of them is not wrong. Does that make sense? None of these are wrong. Unless I'm just, you know, kind of skimping on something, unless I'm just being kind of sloppy. You might say, well, you could have done that. But the general idea, all these patterns, the however you identify them, they're all valid. Your neighbor could have a totally different idea than what you got, but as long as they got 2 touches on one side and 3 on the other, according to patterns, trading rules, you got something. It's only those dudes that I see that do something weird like this, where price is just in a straight candle up, and then all of a sudden I see them doing flags with nothing touching. There's nothing there. You don't know if price is going to do this. You don't know if price is going to do something. You don't know. You're just like, but you got a bias if you do something like that, in my opinion. I advise against trying to make a pattern that's not there. I think it's highly more effective if you just touch the dots and let the dots let the tips reveal the pattern, dot to dot, or however you want to do it. So these areas up here, 24 cents, just they look juicy. Oh, Dogecoin. Man, am I being talkative willy-nilly tonight? And it sounds kind of crazy to think that we might go there, especially with the world going into a handbasket. And I think the stock market, they're bouncing around, and I don't think they're very confident just yet. But that's quite a squeeze. But even here on Doge, what are we on, the 4 hour? 4 hour is a good chart, I think, to navigate right now. I really do, especially if you're using these bigger moving averages and things like that, because you know, those are the upper limits that we should be going to, and there might be a little bit more, but these being in reverse order like that, it still tells us that we're going to come back down. We don't fade. We will probably, most likely on all these altcoins, come back to that 200 moving average on the 4 hour. No matter how far we get, that's a good general rule to look for on the 4 hour. However far up we go, we're probably going to come back to wherever that 200 moving average is. That's a good thing to kind of plan for, because right now it's at about 16.5 cents. If it gets up to 21 cents, then we come back wherever it may be at the time. That's a good little strategy to keep your mind on. Also, the retested trend lines. Oh my God, we're just talking like all crazy tonight, aren't we? We got some coins to go through. Bought the 3-pack. Hey, awesome, Joe. Says, I bought the Tangem wallet using the Road Dog discount code. Love it. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Joe. I appreciate your support, my man. Turbo, woohoo! Glittery says, you, my fibs and trend lines is all I trust anymore. You know, and if I like my moving averages too, but if I got stuck on an exchange and I didn't have access to TradingView, some situation like that, and I just got little tools to work with, fibs and trend lines, yeah. It takes care of my horizontal and my diagonals, and I put a lot of stock in my diagonals. I do. Some people don't. But that can help you get a little bit of a better entry, in my personal opinion. Everybody's got a different take. So you got to find the take and figure out how that take works with what resonates with you, and how things work with you. Try out a little bit of this, try out a little bit of that, and just keep what works for you. Just disregard or put on the back shelf all the stuff that you're not so sold about or don't fully understand, or maybe play with it every once in a while carefully, maybe with a a paper account if you really want to be conservative. But the whole I look at trading and technical analysis as you're finding the tools that you like to work with, that you have. The more you use them, the more skillful you come at them. You don't have to have every indicator, every tool out there, especially every shiny new indicator, because everybody's also still in a new indicator. Stochastics, the RSI, MACD, a couple of those. Pick, choose, whatever. But whichever you go with, they'll start talking to you. You'll get used to them, and you can get your own little strategies. And a lot of the strategies, especially the RSI and stochastics and things like that, I learned when I was programming my bots before I learned TA. I did it backwards, and that I was wondering, why is this so hard for me to understand? And then I was starting with bots and trying to learn how to understand all the crazy, what's that indicator? I don't understand that, and put it in or choose how the combinations I wanted them to work and everything like that. No wonder it was so damn confusing. If I'd learned TA first, it would have all made sense. I'm sure if I go back, I would still want to go back with my bot and redo that, because I could probably get put together some really good combinations based on what I know now. Can we look at Ronin? Let's take a look at. Oh, yeah. I gotta get back to my list too. Let's start snapping this up a little bit. Let's make it a little snappy. I'm talking to myself. I ain't talking to you guys. That's nice. She made a higher high. Look for that higher low. Where that higher low may be, my guess would be it would come back to the trend line area. She may go up higher before she comes back down there. That's what I'm trying to hint at. So we're not sure if we actually got our higher high in, but when she comes back for a higher low, I would be looking at these levels. What is that, about 50? And she may write it down. She could do that, but I would be at least looking to get back in at 54. She's at 57.8 right now. Let's pull some new fibs here. Oh, you guys are kind of old. I'm going to take those off right now. Was she? Where did she come from? When was this? This was December. December. It was at 255. That's beautiful. I like that one. It's going to be a minute though, I believe. We'll do the same thing right here. Oh, you nailed that one too. That's pretty good. So I just took the 2-3. Oh no, I just moved that one by accident. You suck. The 2-3-6s from both of those pulls, and that's a strategy into itself that you can just use to, because we price by this strategy has got to reclaim the 2-3-6 so that we know that we're in bullish momentum. Let's by this strategy that's the rule of the game. I mean, I'm not saying that price must mandatory do it every time, because you don't know what price is going to do, but for this strategy to be working, that's our rule. That's just, it's like if you're bullish above the 200 moving average, okay? Are you really? Sometimes you're not. Sometimes he gives it up. But as a general rule, we are, right? So, listen, every strategy needs rules. Mine are, the 2-3-6s. So we got 2-2-3-6s is all I'm trying to say. And I don't have to go through, I mean, can go through and fib out and get some other little minor areas to go through, but those are some two very big valid ones that might be worth getting some more gains. So for anyone FOMOing in here at 57 cents rather than waiting for 54 cents and say, oh my God, I got to get in. Somebody on YouTube's talking about this coin. I got to buy it right now. I need something now. You could get 20% gains up to that first area. And maybe she comes back to this late and maybe a little bit lower. I don't know. But up to that, you got 23% gains, 67% up to this little guy. And I guess if we wanted a, let's go ahead and let's get us a higher target over here. 618 is good and 107, but 124. Let's go for that one. This little zone up here is going to be the real test area at the 786 and 886 areas. Why do you say that, Road Dog? Ask me in chart school, and we'll get into it because I'll spend too much time here. Now I clutter up my screen because I feel bad if I don't put some of these guys in because they're so relevant. And now I get all these. Now you got too many targets, Road Dog. Is it? They're relative, and it depends on who's trying to do what with who. Because for me, as a bottom feeder, I like what I'm seeing down here. I might even jump. I might even, one of the 4 hour, and you're like, oh man, you can't get in at the right time. It depends on what you're doing. If I'm trying to ride this up to $1.24, what do I care if I'm getting in at 55 cents or 57 cents? I don't care. I see some scalpers, man. They don't get that little perfect thing there. I missed it. I'm like, some people would be just fine with what you're getting. And then sometimes they do miss it. I'm just saying, sometimes they really miss it. Sometimes I see them long in the tops. I'm not a scalper. I'm not against scalping. But I see some of these professional scalpers not being very professional. Then I see some that are. Some of them do really good. They're more of a range trader, to be honest with you, than scalpers. Range traders, that takes some skills there. So 70 cents, 90 cents. Do we need any targets in between? I think those are the juicy ones up there. My goodness, Ronan. And that's just to get back to areas that she was at just, a couple of months ago. You're like, oh my God, he'll never get up there. And it's like, dude, we were just there a couple of months ago. And like, we should be able to get back. We ain't even talked about divergence or nothing, man. You got some? Oh, you got some. You got some divergences. She's wanting to pop. Man, these altcoins have been decimated so much that they want to move. Total 3 is just like, oh my god, I broke out of the box. It's like that little puppy, I don't know, you had pinned up, and then he finally gets his chance to get out, and then he's like all over the yard, brother, through every door. He finally makes it outside, and going down the street, and you got to chase him. Or that cat. The cat that gets outside, the house cat that gets outside, the one that you know is going to die if it ever gets lost outside. And then she wants to go all around the neighborhood, climb the trees, hide, and not listen, and act like she don't know you or it don't know you. Yeah, that's what's going on. But eventually, that cat's going to get caught. We're going to bring price back into these places. So this is not a time to chase necessarily, or at all. I don't believe. Let's take a look at Floki. Taking a lot of meme coins are moving right now because they got decimated. It doesn't surprise me that they're some of the first ones to start gaining grounds and getting the hype started back up. So look, I just made a 10x on this meme coin, and then we'll start all that stuff again. But I mean, why? Because they've been beaten down so far. A lot of people did think, hey, I'm going to get some meme coins while they're down. That probably wasn't a bad idea. I'm just saying. Look at you, Floki Inu. You're at a lot of zeros and almost a 7. I'm just going to call it a 7. I like what I'm seeing on the movement. I'm on the 4 hour. See, these moving averages are trying to cross. They have not fully crossed yet, but we're getting it going on. So basically, overall, I mean, if we're zooming out and just kind of realistically trying to see what's happening here, and not saying we're going to the moon, we'll be zigzagging through. I don't know how, but we kind of do some ranges through here before we really get the big uptick. We got to get some crosses going on. We gotta do some play actions through here. So basically, we're in a bigger ass range, if you want my personal opinion. Doesn't mean we can't figure out what target she's going to hit though. That was a nasty thing. Let's see what you say. What can you tell me? We're at that area. Okay, let's go ahead and mark you. I've got lines here already. What's up with that? I'm going to use them. I'm going to drag one of them up there. I'll get rid of you. I don't know what your problem was. Oh, nice one. Nice one, darling. The 618. Are you going to go for a 618? She might do it. That would be worthwhile waiting for. That would be one worth waiting for while you accumulate down here. Even if you were to DCA into the, we're on the 4 hours, so I mean you could spend a week just kind of, or over the next few days just kind of DCing in, buying 25 here, 25 that. I mean, however you want to do your entry, where it's a breakout or a bottom buy or a DCA entry. Some people are layer in. Everybody has a different technique there, but she's at it. She clears the area she's at now. This 7 whatever area, 69.50 is what she's got. Let's make it 7. She can hold that. That'd be good. She's got downward pressure to keep her from doing it. To keep him, from just being super bullish. Okay. 0.5. And the 618 would be the really juicy spots to get paid for any kind of entry over here, in my personal opinion. If she from here to there is 36, maybe up to 55. The best place, of course, would have been as close to this breakout, or even better, that bottom. But let's just say the breakout, because there was an idea there, right? There was a breakout, and there was a retest, and a little flag above it, and got above the 200 on this time frame. Those were all great places to say, I'm going to take a chance on this one. And anybody that did ends up about 18%. So $100 turns into about 118, 120. And if you did that and you hang on till we get up here, or maybe take a little profit here at 41. Ooh, nice. To get up here, that'd be 41%. This is just on spot. 62 up there. If you're new to, I'll take that's my trigger. I'll take a trade here. I'll try this one. That one looks like a good entry. If you had that and acted on it, you could be looking at those situations. But right now, usually what retail does is they look at it right now. It's, oh, this one looks good. Let's buy it now. And not realizing that, hey man, we're at resistance at this very moment, and she could bounce above it and hang out for a minute. Or could just slam down and come back down automatically, and you'd be like, "Oh, you suck! I got in. I put $100 in, and now it's only worth 90." So the dangers of buying at resistance there. That looks good though, but she will come back down here somewhere through here, so it will get retested even if she bumps up a little bit more. Man, I feel talkative about price action tonight for some reason. I meant to post this stuff and I just don't feel like doing that. Alluvium, look at you. Wow, nice. Not now. Ooh, looky here now. Let's keep in mind what's happening here. Now, that one reclaimed above these bigger moving out. Now, sometimes we talk about how they get rejected and come back down. This one is on the 1 hour. You're more likely to see it on smaller time frames than the bigger ones because it doesn't take as much, but that can happen. And that's why I always mention a little extra wiggle room above these. Like, you know, I'm trying to mention, hey, it can. You might see something like this happen if it gets really, really bullish, but still, it's going to have to come back down in these general areas, retest these areas down here. Because we haven't got our flippening. We will retest that flippening. So don't feel bad if you didn't get in that if I missed it. You'll get another chance to get a good entry. Oh snap. Let's zoom out on Alluvium. This was a gaming play. We'll just take this little swing high right here from March 25th, not very long ago, and see we're coming up to resistance area right there. That would be a great little place to get resistance and just a wee bit higher even. What she needs to do actually is come up and make a higher high. Now, if they're going to do that, so basically what I'm looking for is a pullback either here at 1460. Are you going to mark it or not? You going to mark it? A pullback from here. If she gets a little bullsy, we got a couple little targets of about there, but the real interesting ones are going to be right here in these two areas. That would qualify us for a higher high. We look for a higher low. That would, getting up here would signify a definite nice little trend change. She's already started showing some small signs, but I mean, it's not unreasonable if we start getting a bullish week that we could see those areas. And I'm not trying to get out to be too bullish. This is Monday going into Wednesday. Wednesday going into Thursday, I guess, depending on what part of the world you're in. But, you know, there will be a little slowdown here in the market, too. So let's don't just automatically assume that, yeah, we're all going for higher highs. They may have some, it may be planning this over a period of a couple of weeks. It may take for some of these. Again, that's why I advise you to look at total 3 and keep that in mind. When she gets at resistance areas, be a little bit more cautious. She's at a resistance area now, so not the time, in my personal opinion, to FOMO into any position, because it might give it up, or she might go up a little bit more and then give it up. Just be cautious, cautious, cautious. If you're at a retest, I would definitely think about getting into something. Let's take a look at, I want to take a look at near. Is this mine at? This is mine. This is the perps. Do we got enough price action? So we were looking at this rounding bottom, and yeah, she rounded, and she's not made it all the way back to our little bottom areas there. Well, that's cool, but she's still, these things are subjective. There was nice rounding there. I would not take that away. But now it looks like we might have another little, is that our butt crack? Are we getting ready to do something? I hope not. That would suck. So clearly these targets are not coming to play at the moment. Are they still valid? Those are more than likely still valid, so I'm hesitant on erasing them. But we will update and get some of this off just so there's not a bias. Or we can just, screw it, we'll just, we'll leave it just because, and we'll just go to a different chart. I may want to look at that later. So here on the weekly, you got the green dot there, and you got a green candle. That's enticing. $886 retracement. I like that. And given that that's on the weekly, that's got a good chance of being it, in my personal opinion. going to come up here to the top, to the bottom, and I'm going to line up that 236. Now I'm going to come from that top down to, let's try this one. I want to get that one too. And I'm on the daily. I'm gonna go from that candle body to that candle body, just to, we got something with angles, and then from these candle bodies to that wick. I like that, so I'm just gonna stick with that. That's my choice. And we're hoping that we'll come up there to this little guy. And that is also a 7. I like that idea. I'll go with that. But for anybody looking for a shorter target for us to go to, 259, 260 could be on the table there. Let me tighten that up. We're at a 0.5 area, so we may pull back before we go further, but I still like 277. I would actually shoot for that. 277 and this area right up here, 329. For those of you thought you see the 786 and the 113, yeah, there's something there. All right. And then you also, if you ever do get a breakout, apply that wherever and get these areas. And here on the daily, 200 moving average is up there, and that is also a nice little target area, just to give you hopium that we can go back up there. Good old Nia, she's at a nice little juicy price. It's $2.40. 6 months from now, you'll look back in there and say, man, I probably should have got me some near at $2.60 or $1.98. That definitely would have been a good place. Let me come over to the chat. We got 111. Yeah, 111. 24 people hanging out. You guys are the crowd, man. You guys are the cool dudes. The supporters of the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Joe says, I can confidently say the Road Dog is my favorite turkey. You're my favorite, Joe. Uh-oh. Joe says, looking at Popcat, Sui, Arrow, ETH, Turbo for possible shorts. They move very nice. Now, not entering now, just need to see where support is created and broken. Bingo, bango. There probably are some good short opportunities out there too. Now, in my spot margin trading strategy, that's what I'm doing. I'm pretty much on a lot of the entries that I've got, you know, that's where I'm at in the game. I'm starting to having to borrow to short on some of them. Clear Marshmallow says, Road Dog still trying to figure out a turkey or a zombie. I know it's hard. I'm having an identity crisis. I like the expressions the turkey does, but then sometimes I just like to be something different other than a turkey. If you enjoyed the music, take it with you on the road. Stream Road Dog Crypto on Alexa, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Pandora, wherever music is streamed today. Bobby, how's it going? Road Dog, would you take a look at AVAX and well, we did those. I did look at AVAX earlier, right? Yeah, we did. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm remembering wrong. And we just now finished up with Near. Oh, cool. That's synchronicity. Drop your thoughts, stay updated, super chats, VIP coin, TA. Oh man, 100% crowdfunded show. It is 100% crowdfunded. I'm not here to sell you anything other than maybe a Tangem wallet discount. Uh-oh, Sam says moving averages are magnets. Oh, you're going to start some feudings in here. Spot or spot margin? What are your thoughts, Road Dog? I used to lean more toward the spot margin. I think spot margin is good. It can be good, but my gosh. What you need to be with the trend on it. This is my new rules and what I've discovered or really learned this whole cycle. Be in the trend and definitely take your profits. The fees will get you if you try to hold a big ass position. If you hold on too heavy, you got to keep it circulating. But I will still maintain that when something like if you have a bag of this or a moon bag of it or something that, and you catch them on the bottoms and you catch the trend going up, it will be beautiful. However, if you ride the trend down, it will eat you up. You will get the fees are a lot of it too. That, and keep an eye on your risk levels or liquidation points, that kind of thing. The fees, I would say, were the biggest thing that I did not anticipate as much. That, and then using your Bitcoin to support your altcoin habit, was not the brightest idea either. So I do like it, and I am in it, and I'm going to use it to help me to recover. And I did this last time too. This time I'm definitely taking the freaking profits. It got to take the profits. And bigger profits. I took smaller profits, probably smaller little sections, with the idea of keeping the bulk of the bag. I no longer think that. Now I'm thinking, nope, screw it. You can always build that bag right back. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have a little into kitty. The best strategy I found with spot margin, I mean, it also works for a hedge, but it's finding your middle and layering your buys and selling. So you're basically doing a range. So with this idea, I mean, if we applied this theory over here before it happened, or whatever, you'd be accumulating through here and then selling here. Basically, that's what the little thing would signify. And I've got a fib strategy that helps me out with all that stuff. But to answer your question, spot, you can't go wrong with spot. You really can't. I would use spot margin, sparingly. In retrospect, spot, you got spot. There's you're not going to worry about that bag shrinking because of margin shrinking or anything like that. That's there. You got that number. It's solid. That's not so solid on spot margin. It kind of fluctuates, and kind of reminds you of DeFi when you get that. What do they call that? In DeFi, you put the price in, but it's unrealized. Is it unrealized loss? Is that what they're? No, that's not what they called it. I've already forgot. That was the hot term. But it's where, why is my position shrinking? I put money in, and why is this not working? Well, that thing. Why can I not think of the name of that? I'm sure it will come. Let's go take a look at. I want to take a look at Ping. That one was beat down, and everything's showing Pingu. Is Ping still a thing, or is it still beating the F down? She is beaten down. So this one is like less than 2 cents. And she had some highs, but here in April, she's been on the downtrend from there, huh? Could she get back to 20? That's the question on this one. A lot of people will be looking, there's no way in hell I'd play this one, and I probably, but it was a meme coin that I think that they seem to be trying to do something. Maybe she'll get some more get back. It'd be a risky ass F play. Pingu, however, I think that's the one that's actually showing up as moving, right? Oh yeah, that's the one that everybody's looking at. I don't know what the difference is between them. This one's definitely looking healthier, like she's wanting to flip some moving averages within the 4 hour. She's trying to do something. Yeah, now this one's showing some signs that she's wanting to try to bottom, and she made a higher high, so there's your first wee little indicator there. Something might be going on. She clears that one, then that next higher low would be a really good place. Let's take a look at Jupiter. Jupiter, what are you doing? Are you coming up to our resistance areas? The bills that you are. Nailed it! Up here at the 0.5 Fibonacci of 44 cents. Amazingly, that is where we find ourselves at this very present moment in time. It's uncanny. It's crazy. It's Fibonacci is all it is. And then there's another one. So there was a Fibonacci here that don't seem as great since we passed it. So you suck, road dog. It went further. That was a fractal we were talking. I remember that, man. My whole life is spent in these charts. And like, I remember I was looking, yeah, that was back in April. It's still April. That was just a few days ago. Oh my gosh. What can we go on? 47, 48 cent. Could be. We are crossing over the 800 and 600. That's looking kind of bullish. She could probably do a little bit more on the upper side of these guys, especially on the smaller time frames. If we were on a daily looking at it, I wouldn't be as confident to say that, but on this one, they could have some more upside up this 48 cent area. I don't want to discount this little guy over here. That's a bigger 236. 53 cents could be a coming out. I hope you do. Maybe we'll see that by Friday or the weekend or something. That would be cool. But the more that she gets, it's going to be harder and harder. So she may be getting some ups and downs and jankiness. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of here. And so we don't have a trend line drawn. I would recommend drawing a trend line, and then now you can kind of see what's going on. And we're far away from that trend line. We had a secondary trend line going this way. Now we got a third trend line, and this one's not going to hold. It's not. It's just not going to hold. She's going to give it up somewhere between now and 48 cents is my guess. At worst, this one will break down and come back and try to test this one. And who knows? It may break down and come back and test this one. So we got all kinds of things to be looking at. If I had to guesstimate an area that she might get rejected at, I would just line up that I kind of got this angle and I may be off a little or whatever, but 46, so maybe in the middle. She went in between. She might go X between, so somewhere between 44 and 48. I think Jupiter's going to get a little bit of a pullback. And this area, this looks like prime real estate to retest over here, somewhere around 41, 42 cents. All right, like, how long have we been going? An hour and 16 minutes? That's not bad. Let me put just a few more minutes on the timer here. Nakamoto Games. I want to take a look at that one. She's still really, really cheap right now. She's going up, but I mean, the lowest that she got was about 29, 30 cents. Very slow mover. We come over to the daily and see that she's moving slow, but these were some of the key reversal areas I was looking for, and she nailed it. Is that a stiletto heel? Is that a possible add? I mean, there's lots of things here, and just that alone says we can get back to 43 cents. She's at 33 cents now. For risk takers out there, and for gaming people, this is not bad. It's 28% just to get back where she was. But there was a time at 70 cents was the bargain price they can find this little sucker at. She went all the way up to 320, almost 330. She can do that again. Or even any variation up there. If she just comes back to $1.73 from 33 cents. What I'm trying to say is she's at a bottom area. So for any of you bottom feeders out there, that's one to look at. Just getting back up to the 666 daily moving average at $1.10 would be 232%. So buying $100 worth of Nakamoto gains at 33 cents and selling it at $1.10 would give you somewhere around $330 something. I like that. That's cool. I can sit on that and let that happen, you know? Especially if you got a moonbag strategy or apply something like that. So that's when this is on my radar. She came down, did her rounded bottom, did her little butt crack, and now we're trying to figure out her other little bottom side. And these aren't usually nearly as long as those. You'd hope that it wouldn't be at this point in the game. But some odd is that. What if? I mean, this is where she was before. This was back last cycle. She got as high as $8, $5. Just one of my picks. Doesn't have to be one of your picks, but she's definitely had some very interesting areas. From here to there, 400% gains. $100 could turn if we get to 177. to retest that area. $100 could turn into $500. 1,000 could turn into 5,000. That kind of idea. If I had to pick the areas to really target, a dollar area is nailing $1 psychological support area of $1. So from now to $1, that one looks like a fairly solid play to me. That's 200. So $100 can turn into $300. I like that. I would go with that one. I'm going to paste that one right there. That just sell her at 99 cents, baby. Call her a day. A moonbagger at 99 cents. I also want to take a look at VeChain. That one's starting to bounce back. I've got some of this. It's been staking. It's been locked away for a long time, and I intended to do that with it. Wasn't going to put it on an exchange and play with it and try to play any games, although it probably would have been a smart idea to sell it over here at 7, almost 8 cents. But when you consider that, hey man, she got up to 27, 28 cents last time. You know, yeah, I probably should have stowed some there. Maybe if she comes around this 12-cent area, I might move some over and take advantage of it. But I like this one. She's back at bottom territory again. And even if we consider this area, she's still in anywhere under 3 cents, in my personal opinion, is a good place to get this one. Technically, I should have done that from here to there. My bads. So anywhere under that red line is, my personal opinion, a pretty good play on this one. This one, you'd be surprised. And matter of fact, you know what? I think I got some. I want to paper trade it. Can we do it? Just to trade a new order. How much can I get? I want 10,000 units at what? They got this all jacked up, man. This got some kind of margin stuff on it. I don't understand how this works, but I'm gonna get this, man. I'm gonna get $51 worth. It gives me, oh god, that margin. Are you gonna liquidate me or something? So apparently we got an order in that's not been, you not been hit? Oh, I just want to mark it. Oh, now we got it. And now I'm down $10. Woo! Past the $10 I've ever lost in my whole life. I hope you're not 500x leverage, dude. 500 to 1 is what I saw on there. Measure moves over here, man. Let's see what, I'm just want to see what this does. Just to see the gains this little sucker makes as it moves up. Because 2.5 cents is pretty good on it, I think. I did this on the weekly chart. Oh my god, you suck, Road Dog. That was stupid. It really was. To do an entry from that chart. Get our thesis from there. Come to a smaller time to do it. Maybe I didn't screw you up too bad. Got a nice little ribbon flip happening here on the 4 hour. Trying to anyway. I like what I'm seeing out of some of these altcoins. It gives me hope that the bottom may be in, and now we're just trying to establish our range and maybe get a little higher highs, higher lows. We're starting to solidify this bottom area. We may come down and do a higher low, come down, or even at worst come back and retest it. I hope not, but for any of these altcoins, I don't think this one will, but they all could. But I'm seeing some really good signs that things they're trying to turn around right now. And again, I'm going to keep saying this too. You got to watch this guy, Bitcoin Dominance. Because she flips around and goes the other way, all this sentiment will start changing. But she may be coming back into pattern. We may be looking at something nice. And my clue on this here on the 4 hour. Why can you say that, Ro? What's your argument, Road Dog? Well, give me your evidence that this might be the end of the move. This is an internal trend line. That's got a good chance that we'll get a nice pullback. And even no matter how little it is, anytime that this is coming down, altcoins are going to benefit. And that's why it might be important to, take profits a little bit more quicker on some of these altcoin plays right now. Now, and there is bearish divergence there, is there on a bigger time frame? Will it matter as much? It's trying. I don't know if it's enough to give us the big drop that we would need to call for altcoin season, but there's a possibility. I mean, we are with Bitcoin dominance at an area of resistance on a channel, if we come back toward the bottom of the channel, if we come back toward the 60% areas, we are all going to be very happy with altcoins. With that little mini move there, we're going to be, yeah. But it being very important to be getting paid on that process if that happens. That would be our hopeful scenario, and I'm not sure if that's ready to happen yet or not. This is the daily time frame. Not quite seeing it. She's thinking about it, but we're not seeing it. We're just starting to see it on smaller time frames. And look how big of a nice pump we got just from seeing that happen, right? Trend lines kind of suggest that we might come down to this area, and so that would just be maybe a couple of days. And we got to break this area too. We might just get a bounce there. That would suck. We get a bounce there, and also when Bitcoin dominance starts going back up, then altcoins are just going to start. But if it comes through and we come down, even that little bit's going to help. It's going to help out a lot. And this is cool. This is cool to see altcoins get a little bit of a bounce back.
Rivers of code carve destiny's face. As cypherpunks dream
These are a biatch. That they are. I agree. Redstone is moving up. Jason says turbo. No, I'm not done. There's a redstone. I think I saw a blackstone. Blackstone might be a stock though. You're on Coinbase. On the 4 hour, she's trying. Okay, I see them trying. Still not made a higher high, but that's where I would look for it to go up 48, 49 to 50 cent areas. Try to get in the higher high. So that's what she's got to do. That's what she needs to do. She wants to be a good girl. If you want to graduate, you need to get up there. She already tested it once. Ooh, 55 cents looks like a nice target. I like that one too. If you can clear this area. Right now, she's looking a little. You got some mixed signals going on there. MACD is kind of confused, but the green dot on market cipher, which can disappear on you, is looking a little promising. To me, I think you might have an internal trend line situation here. Well, maybe not. No, I think that passes. That's pretty impressive. Okay. Let's see if you can get up there to 46 cents and get above it. That might be trying. All right, guys, been going for an hour and a half. Joe, are you going on tonight, mister? Ryan Case says, can you check out XLM? I can. I actually have I got a contract out on this one. 1 hour is looking like she's getting a little toppy. 4 hour, I see she's at that resistance at the 360. Might have to be a little patient with this one. She may have, she may lose a few pennies here and there. But that 33 cent area looks like a nice place. 32 by our fibs. 35 by the 0.5. That looks like the most relative zone to come, and that corresponds with this area over there too. If you look to the left, I always look to the left and see those little areas. Here's congested there. Let me color code that. So that'd be a nice little shorter term target there. One of the 4 hour. That'd be a nice little, little swing. Eventually you start getting up to these areas, and I would hope get back up to 71, 72 cents eventually here. She could be in a big ass flag. I'm sure a lot of people will look at that. I don't see it as a flag. I see it as a falling wedge though. And that should take us back up toward the top around 63, 64 cents eventually. What is it from here to there? 22, 20 to 33%, and I think I got 2. I think I just raised it to 3x because I'm in profit. So that could get like a shoot. That's pretty sweet. Could get me up to 100% gains on that, even with a 2 or 3x. Put our little target things over there. 30, 31. What's this one? The 35-cent area. And she got to clear this 27, 28 cent area. I think she's trying to do that as we speak. May take her a few days to solidify that, but I would say, I don't know, by the weekend maybe we'll hit those targets. Maybe sooner. I mean, when she gets moving, she can move pretty quick. It's hard to say. We could also do our little trend lines. Oh, you got the breakout. Do you have the volume behind it? Not really. I like it. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow night, if not doing something during the day, might even throw a video out. I don't know. Have to see how this stuff rolls, but things are looking kind of nice. I do like to end things up on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, are you up or down? Did you go up or did you come down, honey? There we are. There we are. You still below our little nailed it guy right there. I had to put that over on our Telegram group. Let's go over here and check out the. I see some people having some congratulatory moments over here. Let's back up through here. Wow, look at some of you guys over here. When was this? I may have went back too far. But Kelly Fan's been killing it here with some of these. Oh, look at that 200x. You've been going crazy over that. Wow, that was a entry price at 35.37. Got out at 35.94. That was really quick. But you didn't go negative. You got it. 316, 387. That's a 20x. That one's. I found that one more impressive right here. That was pretty sweet. That was sweet. Mafia trade. That's nice. Tau, we got and this is MD Motorsports, 24% gains over here. It's like you got in at 299, got out at 306, and we were able to get that on a 10. That's good. 25x got 78% gains. Sports PC guy, my man. All you got, we got hand clappies. All you guys need hand clappies. Shout out to all you guys. Oh my gosh, look at this one. Kelly Pants, look at you. Using that crazy leverage. Look at 1,000 or 1,300% right there. Average entry is $20. Got out at 21. There was that AVAX. AVAX's been doing pretty decent. She need to come back down so I can fill my bag some more. She will eventually. We got ooh, that one. Oh, no, wait a minute. I got off on some other ones there. Great job, Kelly. And then I thought, well, I gotta put some of mine in because I haven't posted anything. I forget to a lot of times. I did a fart coin. This is a 3x, and that's not very much. It's this very small trade. I made a whole $2 off my fart coin, going from 87 cents to 112. And then this is on my little DGen account that we're supposed to be doing for the show, trying to build that bag up over there. So we had an entry over here, 10x Bitcoin for 86.5 to 93,000, and we're making 20 bucks off of that one. That one's still open. I'll take some, and she hasn't closed out. I'll let her get stopped out. Until then, I just keep taking profits and then adjusting my entry, and that's just what I do. I don't get all in and all that. Usually, I try to milk these little suckers and get as much profit out of them as I can. So shout out to all you guys making the profit on the run up. This was what we put out the 93. 96,459 could be the next one if we do clear this area, if things get bullish and we do recover this area and get above it. That's the next area I'll be looking for. But right now we're struggling. We came back up, and of course you can see what we did on Bitcoin after we get out of here. Yeah, this is that same chart, and this is we came back, retested, double topped up there, and we're still trying to. Looks like she still wants to try to test it out. So we'll see. If I had to pull a fib from here to there just to see what we're doing, yeah, she's trying to flag it. I don't know if it'll work for her, but if she does, 96 could be the next place that we're looking. What I like to do, even on these small time frames, is draw me a trend line, even if it's a secondary or third one there. She's respecting it. And technically, you could do an entry here. If you want to set your stop losses below the trend line, you can do that. That's what I do. This is, if I'm looking to get an entry, I would enter and set a tight stop loss, because you can set your stop loss below here if you want, but being below the trend line anywhere technically. Because the theory is we're good as long as we're above the trend line. If we break the trend line, our idea is incapacitated, and that wouldn't be a nice little play in my personal opinion. I might just add to my position from here. You're only getting about 3.5% there at best to 96,453, and you'd have to throw some leverage on that with a Bitcoin, but there might be a move there coming. Guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you tomorrow night. Trade carefully, trade wisely. God bless you. Thank you, my man. I appreciate your feedback on that.
Crypto's my cover, shielding through the fights. Mean coins hit fast, scams in they gleam. Buy my trash, they blast. Tore my dream. Lost my last dime, rent's knocking my door. Lights out in time, scam shook my core.
Joe says, I was thinking about it. I'll see if I can get people showing up. If not, the live stream will be cut. I'm setting it up. Okay, so Joe is going. He should be going online about any second now. I'll shut down and I'll pop in. I'll be lurking a little bit. I get tired. It tires me out when after I turn everything off and sit down in my chair. I'm like, I don't want to do nothing. Deep is up big time. It is a wild game, Jason. It is.
Smirk, girl, your stacks my game. Pumped his junk, then jerk left me in shame. FOMO's cruelties drained my last dime. Gas fee squeeze, stalled my climb. But I held tight, flipped a dip to glow. Sats in my sight, turned the scam to woe. Markets my pulse, coins my shield of grace. Bull runs my force, scammers lose their place. Yeah, when the charts crash low and the scammers glow, you've got my
I like to hear that. I like to hear that. There's always a rewind, and that way you skip through the stuff you don't want to see there. But I appreciate you. I've been extra tired lately too, Strega. I will agree. I can't explain it. I don't want to do much of anything. And so my circadian rhythm, I know, is kind of screwed up. I have read that creatine may help with that. For people who are lack of sleep and maybe going through some stress, that creatine might help with a lot of stuff, actually. So I've been upping my creatine. I'll give an update on it, but I don't like being tired all the time. And yesterday it got me, I was really, really tired. I've been tired a lot. I don't know if it's something in the air, something in the moon, something in the weather, but you're not the only one. Oh, my thing's not working anymore? Did I have the wrong one? Did I get the wrong chat box up? No, that was it.
I'm a block hustler, race where the hustle sings. Crypto's my lover, stacking all my dreams. Meme coins tempt me, scams in their glow.
Sam says I've been getting hurt more often too. I haven't been getting hurt. Avi says you have to lift weights using creatine, no? There's actually some benefits been coming out where it can help with a lot of different things. I need a refresh on it, but it looked like it might help regulate my sleep patterns for one thing, and just that brain fog that comes with being tired and feeling that. Something about your brain uses creatine too, and your creatine gets deplenished. Depleted. So I've got some. I need to get back. Ever since I went for that little, and I'm not going to call it a little stupid surgery, but it's an outpatient surgery, but it put me out of business for a couple of weeks for some stuff. Yeah, I couldn't lift things or anything, so it got me out of my routine, my exercise routine, and it's hard for me to get back into that. So I'm trying to build that momentum again. So. But you don't have to use weights to use it, but it definitely does help when you do exercise, though. I'll give it that. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see some of you over at Joe's here in a little bit. Good night, everybody. God bless.